All right, Northcentral Nfused. It is October, and this is a huge month.
Yeah, a lot going on.
Yeah, Cooperative Month, Cybersecurity Month, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The second week is Public Power Week.
Yeah.
And then I think the Monday of Public Power Week, it's National LED Light Day. And then a week later is Careers and Cybersecurity Day. Yeah, my calendar's like...
Yeah, whoever runs our social media is going to be busy.
He already is. I have maxed out the number of scheduled posts we can leave on Facebook right now.
Wow.
Yeah, so we are missing one person. JD is out of town this week, but we do have our CEO and General Manager, Kevin Doddridge, here.
Hello, how's everyone doing?
Getting the empty chair just in case JD shows up. And our Director of Marketing and Business Development, Michael Bellapani.
Thanks, Justin.
All right, so let's just get right into it. Actually, today, we actually have a couple guests on this month's podcast. We're going to have Lee Shelby on. JD was here for that interview, but Lee Shelby, whose newest
He just
book,
said he wasn't here.
Well, he was there for the recorded interview.
We're going to put subtitles previously recorded.
Yeah, exactly. But
We'll refuse all calls at that point, I'm sure.
Yeah. We're not taking any calls. But Lee Shelby's book, No Hands, No Excuses, is out, and he's on the podcast talking about that. And, of course, workplace safety. And then we also have RobenX, who's a local musician, albinism awareness advocate, and he's... I know he not just performed, but he did perform at the UN in Switzerland.
Wow.
So, yeah. So we got some pretty cool guests this month. So we'll just start with you, Kevin. What you got?
Well, I think one of the biggest things that we're looking at right now is just the weather. I think it's 95 degrees out there.
Yeah.
So the first month of October is really going to be hot. And I've known we've had some hot Octobers before, but this is really stretching in. One thing that we need everybody to remember is it's probably going to cool off later in the month. It's difficult when you go to your mailbox and it's a nice fall 65, 70 degree afternoon, you get that high bill. But just remember that people that get their meters read this week will probably get a bill in 2 weeks or so, and it's going to show these high usages. So just remember it's going to shock some people, but just remember how the heat is stretching on into fall. Also, it's dry out there, so just remember a lot of people, including myself, are anxious to break out the fire pits, and we are getting some recovery at night. It's not like it was in July where the high humidity just stretched on into the evening. It's getting fairly pleasant to sit out at night, so if some people maybe want to go ahead and fire up that outside fireplace or fire pit or do some burning, just remember it's really terribly dry out there right now.
And a lot of areas are on a burn ban anyways. By the time this airs, it might have changed. But
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good point and something you need to check in. The burn ban is not a suggestion, and really at this time and when it starts getting a little breezy in the afternoon, just a little bit can start a fire, and a fire can really take off under these conditions. You mentioned Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we both kind of got our pink on, and you'll see the office lit up this month as we try to recognize that and kind of observe that month. The annual meeting is coming up, and that's going to be probably occupying a lot of our time. We had 3 of our incumbent directors qualify to run again, so that election will take place that day. We'll have our normal business meeting, but as I somewhat alluded to last month, one of the biggest things we're going to do is we do need to amend our articles of incorporation, and we need to do that to allow us the opportunity to get into the high-speed internet business. You're not saying that we can or cannot, even though if we can't amend our articles, we cannot get into the business. But we're just asking you to give us the ability to make that decision and change our articles to do that. So that's a little bit of a wrinkle in our annual meeting that we haven't had in the past, but a necessary one nonetheless. And that will be on the 23rd. I think I threw you that curveball last month.
Yeah, that's right. 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, he's ready.
Wednesday,
2 o'clock on the 23rd. So, like I said, we'll have an update on the business of the association, talk about the articles. We'd love to have our members come by. If not, you'll receive an annual meeting notice, in all likelihood, Friday or Saturday of this week. So if you cannot attend, just make sure and sign that proxy and send it back in so we can take care of business.
We'll have a box in the lobby too. If you stop in to pay your bill, you can drop that in.
And we have a little incentive for our members to show up. There's a drawing for a $50 credit.
I can't remember how it works out, but there's 3 or 4 different prizes for those that return a proxy and vote, and then there's also a prize for somebody that's in attendance, I believe.
Right,
So.
yeah, there's a different prize. If you participate through proxy, you have an opportunity to win a credit on your electric bill. There's also some other opportunities if you decide you want to come here in person, which, like I said, we'd love to have you.
Yes.
Yeah, but simply it's just part of the democratic process of what we are as a cooperative, and talking about Cooperative Month, you get to see how things are done by coming to this annual meeting and see how business is conducted. So I encourage everybody to come out for that.
Because there's a lot of surrounding utility companies that don't offer something like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, they're called stockholder meetings.
Yeah.
Or municipal owned. Yeah. So what else do we have from you, Kevin?
That's really going to wrap it up for October. A lot of business going on. A lot of business at a national level that we're looking at. Probably going to start looking at what challenges are going to face us as we come up into the 2020 legislative session. And of course, before we have that, we'll have an election. So a lot's going to be going on in October leading up to the first Tuesday following the first Monday of November.
That's right.
Okay. And so we have a lot of community events to talk about for not just October, the rest of the year, it seems like.
Yeah, and it's kind of getting to that point to where it's a train that doesn't stop. We're going to be at New Year's Eve before we know it. But to piggyback on what Kevin said with those with the higher bills this time of year and the weather, North Central has 2 tools that you can take advantage of to help manage your account a little bit better. The first one is a levelized billing, and for those of you that don't know, you get a bill from month to month, and our milder months like April and May, might not be as high. And then you get to those heavy peak months like July and August, and you kind of get sticker shock when you open that bill. Levelized billing just takes your 12 months of billing and spreads it out over a year, so within about $3 or $4 what you're going to be paying each month.
It gives a weighted average.
Yeah.
And it's a great smoothing effect and kind of takes some of the sticker shock and these seasonal changes that we have.
Yeah, I do it. A lot of our employees do it. I enjoy it because it makes things so much easier, and it's based off your actual usage, so you can go back there and track and verify it.
And that will fluctuate if your usage is lower over the course of that year.
As you become more efficient, that bill will go down. The second tool is Pay My Way, and a lot of people are taking advantage of this and have given us feedback that they love the program. And basically, it's prepaying your electric bill. Think of it as filling up your gas tank in your vehicle. So you get paid, go put $20 on your account, and you kind of get to monitor using the app or the website and see what your monthly usage is, actually your daily usage. A lot of folks are monitoring that on a daily basis. And not only does it help you manage that, but it makes you more aware of what you're using in your home. You would be surprised at the savings that you could gain by replacing 4 incandescent bulbs with an LED bulb, and that is real bottom line savings to a family. So if y'all are interested in that, come see our CSRs. Give us a call, 800-325-8925, and we're happy to help. But like Justin said, we've got a lot going on. Some of these events will have passed by the time you listen to the podcast, but I would not be doing my job if I didn't make you aware of them. October 7th is Monday night, safety night out in Olive Branch City Park. I think this event was spearheaded by public safety, by the police and fire departments. And basically, it's a way of getting the community together around the track in the city park. Free hot dogs, maybe burgers. I'm not sure.
I think it's like one of each, or one of the other. But yeah.
But a lot of our business, there's food. There's food.
There's plenty of it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of businesses that are going to be out there with tents and displays. Lots of giveaways for the kids. I'm sure there's going to be some moon bounces involved and a DJ. They'll give door prizes throughout the night too. But we'll be out there.
We'll be out there.
Next to the police and fire.
The smoking trailer.
That's right. with our safety demonstration trailer, and we'll have some folks out there running that, and then also some volunteers working our tents. But come by and see us.
Yeah,
we'd love to shake your hand and give you a piece of candy. So
Yeah, or a coloring book.
that's right. We'll have those too. Let folks know about an event that doesn't get a whole lot of publicity, but is really, really cool. Is October 19th is the Northwest Community College Bull-O-Rama, and that's in the arena.
What's that date again?
It's October 19th, 7:30 p.m. And you'll get to see the region's most accomplished cowboys in the arena. And we're a proud sponsor of that event.
But we don't participate.
But we do not participate.
I'm sure if we ask him nice enough, we can get you on a bull.
Yeah, we've got. I have a feeling we've got a few that would. I don't know if that'd be deemed
We've got some that have.
on the job accident or what. But yeah, check that out. It's Northwest Community College Bull-O-Rama. I'm sure the Google will tell you how to get to it. So yes.
You got to ask the Google.
That's right. And I skipped over one. The South Haven Chamber is turning 50 years old. It's their 50th anniversary, and they're going to have a gala and annual awards dinner with live entertainment on October 17th at 6 o'clock. I believe that will be at the Landers Center. So we made mention of the annual meeting. That's October 23rd at 2 o'clock. So hopefully that y'all can make plans to be there for that. And lastly, just to make some announcements, the Olive Branch Christmas Parade, the 43rd annual Christmas Parade, will be held on December 7th at 2 o'clock through the streets of Old Town. You can go, if you have an organization that wants to participate, you can go to the Chamber's website and download an application, and that website is olivebranchms.com. Great event, fun event. And you know, if you've got a Girl Scout troop, Boy Scout troop, you want to put a trailer in or a float, we actually have walking floats, so you can have your group walk the parade, and hopefully we'll have all the area bands, marching bands in that as well. Byhalia is making some changes, I think, this year to their parade, and I think it'll be 2 Saturdays. It'll be the 3rd Saturday of December. Around the grounds of Byhalia High School. So we'll have more details on that hopefully next month. But a lot going on, a lot between now and the end of the year.
You forgot one.
What was that?
Bluegrass Festival.
Oh, yeah.
That's October 4th
actually,
and 5th.
yeah, that's this weekend.
Yeah.
That's the Northwest Bluegrass Festival. Northwest Community College Bluegrass Festival will be this weekend, October 4th, 5th.
Down in Senatobia.
Yes.
Jim Hurst, the Barefoot Movement, Circus Number 9, Eric Lewis, and Alice Hassan.
Yeah.
I hope I said that right. Probably not.
We just say it firmly with conviction.
Yes.
Exactly.
So, lots going on, but look forward to seeing y'all at some of these events.
Absolutely. So I think that's about it for us. We're going to come back here just a second with Lee Shelby, and then, of course, then RobenX, and that's the North Central Nfused podcast. So thank you guys for stopping by.
Thanks a bunch.
Be sure to follow North Central Electric Power Association on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. As always, you can visit us at www.northcentralepa.com.
All right, we are back, and we are here with a very special guest. Motivational speaker. You go around everywhere and talk to employees. You've written 2 books, Triumph Over Tragedy and No Hands and No Excuses. Lee Shelby, it is great to have you here.
Thank you very much.
So first, just kind of, I know that you've got books to sell, so I don't want to give you the whole story, but just tell me a little bit about what your background is in these 2 books that you've written.
Background is the utility industry, coming from doing line work in Memphis, Tennessee with JD. Worked with JD in Memphis, and come from an occupational injury which resulted from a 13,200 volt contact when phased to ground on a 23 kV circuit. So when I did, it created the accident that you see, loss of both hands. That resulted in 23 days in the intensive care burn unit, 7 months of occupational therapy, and off work for 10 months, 23 days.
And very few people can say that they've walked away from an accident.
No, 13,000 volts. 13,000 volts in reality should kill you. It will kill you.
And so it's a miracle. It's just
Pretty
a miracle
much.
that you're, so you've taken this opportunity and you've taken this incident and turned it into something positive.
Right.
How many, on average, about how many per year, let's say, how many places do you visit? How many speeches do you give? That kind of stuff. I mean,
I'm usually gone every week, except for in the summer like this. It slows down a little bit in the summertime. There's no way to gauge how many, because some places I'll do 2 or 3 a day.
oh, wow.
And that may be for 5 days in a row. So if that's a plant, general industry, they're catching every shift, all the way down the line.
Yeah,
So
I've
there's-
seen you several times keeping up with you on social media where you'll go somewhere for a week, spend all week, come home, and then you go back
Exactly.
the next week. So
Exactly.
they really get you all through. And some of these are some very large companies.
Right.
And
Big corporations, big companies, large utilities, large manufacturing plants, and they'll want every shift hit. So there's really no way to gauge. I have no idea how many presentations I do in a year. Probably travel around 40 weeks, 45 weeks a year.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, but I mean, so what made you think that, okay, what was your like epiphany here when you were recovering from this accident and you said, I need to help people with this? What was kind of that process?
Right. Well, when recovering from this and going through everything, it seemed stupid to know that everything that I had done, everything that I had been through, and to actually survive 13,200 volt contact, and to come back and to not have any complications from it. So internally, I'm fine. All I did was lose my hand. So to sit around and not share with other people what happened to me, to educate them, to encourage them, to keep them safe, to keep them from getting hurt. It was just, there was no sense of me not doing this. There was no reason not to do this.
Okay. And so, JD, do you have any questions? I know that
yeah,
you're
well,
probably...
my thing, just if you knew Lee before the incident, a lot of people might say, how can you have an incident like that and then recover from it the way you have and really go around and share, the story of your incident with people, but really transition from the incident itself and really go to a place where it really doesn't have anything to do with the incident.
No.
And it comes from a perspective of, hey, no matter what's going on in your life, you can choose to do or not to do certain things.
Exactly.
You can choose to accept or not accept certain things. So really it was, and like I said, I don't want to give the book away either, but it's really, for me, a transformational story about how someone went from an occupational injury and then really moving forward to some degree, I almost starts a second career just talking about no excuses.
Right.
And if you knew Lee before the incident and then you see him today, you're not surprised. Lee before the incident had a smile on his face every day, larger than life, healthy as a horse. Every day he come to work, you could tell he enjoyed what he did for a living. So to bounce back from the incident and see that same smile, that same charismatic attitude and people just drawing to him. For those of us that knew him then and know him now, there's really no surprise there. Really there's not a lot that's changed. I just see that he has accepted another challenge in his life. Just like the challenges that he faced before the incident happened. He met those challenges, always wore a smile on his face. I'm sure Lee would tell you he's human, has good days and bad days, but but just to see him now, like I said, I just want everybody to know that the Lee that you see and the Lee that you talk to now, largely is the same Lee that I met years ago. He just has a lot more knowledge. He certainly has some things to offer from a perspective that many of us do not have. And I think perspective that Lee shares with all of us is really necessary because it helps us with our perspective on things.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So I've got to ask the obvious question is, I mean, in going from this incident and getting used to being an amputee and everything, how has your life changed physically that way?
Well, physically, everything changed. I mean, you could imagine going from being able to be totally independent, doing everything that you've always done with your hands, and then having to relearn how to do them with these.
Yeah.
So, and this is what I'll tell everybody whenever we start talking in a little bit, and what I tell everybody every day. You look at me and you want to know if I can do the elementary task. If I can take the top off that bottle, if I can operate that phone, if I can put my glasses on, if I can work your computer, the phone. Those are elementary things. You know, you want to know that I can do all those things. I can drive cars, I can drive anything. You give me something to drive it, I'll drive it. I can fly an airplane, have a pilot's license. I mean, that was part of my job duties when I went back to the utility, was to fly an airplane. Okay. So, you know, there's not anything that I really set my mind to that I will not overcome and accomplish. And that's what this book is about. It's like JD said, it's transformational from the safety into the motivational space too. Because I've done safety for so long, but to come out now with this is just perfect timing to let people know that there isn't an excuse for not doing things. Mm-hmm. There's no excuse. You know, if you look at me and tell me why you can't do something, and I'm going to tell you that I can do it. Okay, tell me why again you can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Don't give me those excuses. You know, because that's really what they're. Some people have valid reasons. Mm-hmm. You know, we have a reason for doing a lot of things. We know our limitations, but when you just plain out came up with an excuse for why I'm not going to do it, I can tell when it's an excuse. You know,
I just noticed recently on some of his social media posts. He went and had some new prosthetics made so he could get back into his workout routine, lifting weights, things of that nature. So, people like myself, when I read Lee's book, I'm 50-ish, and so slowing.
It's 40 with experience.
Exactly. So slowing down just a little bit, and like I said, getting away from. The incident and just talking about our attitude towards the things that we say that we want to do. Like obviously with me, when you're 50-ish or 49 for the third time, it's something as simple as losing weight. That's something I've struggled with a few pounds over the last few years, and just reading Lee's book, I just. Look, man, everything you're saying, I get it, but I'm just making a bunch of excuses for myself. If you do what is important to you, you do, what you want to do, and you make up excuses for the rest. Right. And so it's really helped me to put myself back on a more healthier routine, and to hear Lee talk about, his desire. To get back in a healthier lifestyle, a healthier routine. It was really encouraging to me. So like I said, I would encourage everyone to go pick up a copy of Lee's book, No Hands and No Excuses. And, certainly don't want to give any of the book away, but I would encourage you, when you get through reading the book, in the back of the book is an interview. And it's Lee being interviewed by someone, and you read the question, and then you read Lee's answer. Yeah. And really, there's a lot to be taken from that interview, because, like Lee said, when people meet him, they're obviously curious. They have questions. And the interview really gave Lee an opportunity to share some of the perspective that he had with some of the things that he was going through. And really just reading some of his answers to the questions, it also, I think, got him to think about some things for the first time. To really try to maybe answer a question about how he felt or what he thought at a particular time, and maybe that's something Lee hadn't thought about in a very, very long time. So I would just encourage everyone, please, go out, pick up a copy of the book. I definitely don't think you will regret it. Please read the interview in the back. It was very, very interesting to me. I've underlined several quotes in the back of the book that just really stuck with me, and it's my intention every now and then just to get it out, Lee, and just read those couple of quotes. Good. And just kind of give myself an attitude adjustment.
There you go.
'Cause I think every once in a while, when we're trying to get things done, we all want to do a great job. We all have lives and things that happen every day, and sometimes I think a little reflection is necessary to put things in proper perspective. So I certainly intend to continue on with that.
But like you said, life. Everybody has a life. Everybody goes through certain elements in their life where they can do things and they can choose to do things. Well, when you read it and you find something that you're up against that you don't want to do, well, there's got to be a reason you don't want to do it. Mm-hmm. It's either you can't physically do it, or you're making an excuse why you can. And everybody has a life, and life gets in the way with a lot of different things, and life has challenges. And these challenges can be faced, or they can be pushed to the side, or they can be delayed, or they can be not even experienced in taking it all. But when you have the opportunity to learn and to grow, do it. Because that's what you're doing whenever you pass by, let's just say health and wellness, losing weight. People struggle with that. Well, I did too. I mean, I was way overweight doing this. For years, I was way overweight. I lost all the weight. I got back into the gym, got losing weight. But it's more than that. It's about business. It's about leadership. It's about any other aspect of your life, not just safety, not just health and wellness. It's about everything.
And Justin, it reminded me, I'm here at Northcentral, I'm the Director of Safety and Loss Control. And, we have a safety manual, we have processes and procedures and things of that nature. And, I really expect people to hold themselves accountable and do what they're supposed to do. But it's a reminder to myself, as far as health and wellness, I can't preach on a daily basis that people need to follow safety rules and follow, work procedures and things of that nature. And then I don't want to be perceived as a person who says, well, you talk about these rules and you talk about how good they are for you, but then it doesn't seem like you're following very many of those rules yourself. So, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah. But
today, here in just a little while, we're going to celebrate Safety Day at Northcentral, and Lee's going to be with us and going to give us some motivation, to carry on with the good things that we've been doing here. We've got a lot of great safety things going on here at Northcentral. The best thing that we have going for us, number one, is we have leadership that has drawn a line in the sand and decided for us that at Northcentral we are going to work in a safe way. And Kevin says every time he speaks about safety, he said that the people at Northcentral that come to work every day, they have a right to go home every day the way they showed up at work, and to be returned back to their families, so that they can enjoy, the fruits of their labor and be with their family. So that's the most important thing that we have going for us, because safety and things of that nature, they start at the top. And Kevin has definitely made a stand for safety, and we appreciate that. The other thing that we have going for us, though, really is compassion for one another. At Northcentral, we are a family, and people say that in a cliche way all the time. And I'm not scared to say this, Justin, but we love one another.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
We care about one another. We know one another's families. We go to church together. We go to school together. We eat in the same restaurants. We see each other all the time. So, how can you not be concerned?
Yeah, absolutely.
How can you not have just an overwhelming sense that, you want everybody that you work with, to go home and be with their families, just like you want to go home with yours. So
you have to see those families.
That's it. And so really, that's a couple things I think we really got going for us. So we'll have Safety Day here, and we're going to have Lee speak to us, and then we're going to celebrate some things. And We have one of our apprentices who recently become a journeyman lineman, and we're going to celebrate him today and celebrate his accomplishments as well. And because really, safety and the things that we're doing, that's a good thing.
Absolutely, and absolutely, I've never seen a safety culture like I have here, and it's really interesting when we did the film that we did for NRECA and showing just how tiny little things have just made these huge improvements. And so that's one of the things that we are doing today at North Central. Of course, this is an October podcast, so we're a little bit, this will have happened for a couple of weeks by the time this gets out. But so if you ever get a chance, if you're interested in Lee Shelby and his books, Consequences, Workplace Safety is Not Optional, and his newest book, No Hands and No Excuses, you can find that at leeshelby.com. Where else are you? Facebook, Amazon, and Facebook, and so you can get this. And if you go to his Facebook, I was just looking at it. There's from August 30th, you are bench pressing. I don't know how much weight that is, but it looks like a pretty considerable amount.
It's a little bit.
But yeah, so I mean, you're sitting there talking about it. There's no excuse. I've got the amputee equipment,
right,
and I'm working out.
Right.
So you made me feel bad.
Wasn't intentional, I promise.
No, it's fine. So Lee Shelby, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
North Central Infused is available on Podbean, Stitcher, YouTube, and iTunes. Be sure to subscribe for the latest episodes.
All right, North Central Infused, RobenX. And the reason I wanted you on this is because you've done so much more than you're a musician, but you've done so much more than just music. Mm-hmm. And you're an anti-bullying activist, and that's something that's very obviously important to people now, and it's a very touchy subject. Is the subject of bullying with folks. Mm-hmm. Tell me how you got started in something like that.
The anti-bullying campaign kind of came about, of course, through the music, as me using my past experience of going through bullying and that music to help other kids. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to go a step further and start going to schools and talk to kids, because not every single kid has someone that they can confide in. Mm-hmm. And what's even better than that, they have someone that they can confide in that's in their age group. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to take the time to give my experience and tell them that it's not over, that they do have someone to look to. I feel like when you have a gift, you have a responsibility to give that gift to other people and save as many people as possible.
Okay, so you speak, how often do you speak at these schools?
As soon as I can get into them. Any school that will let me in, I'm in.
And how many have you spoken to at this point?
About 10?
Yeah.
10 or 11 so far.
This year?
Oh, no.
No, you just meant, I was trying to figure out time.
Okay, man, I know you did I think you did, 3 last year? In between shows and different things like that?
We did a few this year. We did about 2 or 3.
Yeah, school year, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what's that like? Do you perform and then speak, or is it just strictly speaking?
Yeah, it usually just depends. Or we also have made a children's comic called The Colors of Oli, which is a story about a kid who can see color, and in a world where no one else can see color. It's a colorless world, and so he's bullied. He's bullied to the point where he loses his color, and a young lady finds him and wants to see the color with him, and tells the rest of the world that he can actually see color, and he basically shows them the color as well. It's a beautiful story, and kids love it. It's for like age groups from like preschool to the 4th grade, okay. 4th and 5th grade. So,
and this is something you designed?
Yes.
Oh, cool. So where can people find that?
It's not out yet.
Oh, it's not out yet. So you're about to be releasing it. Okay.
Yes.
Come speak at the school.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
we'll get to that at the end. How to contact you about school speaking. But how did this reach out to Switzerland?
That's exciting to talk about. In 2014, I was doing a lot with my campaign called Dream Forever, which is now a branch of Extreme Dreams USA. When we were working on that stuff, the United Nations saw that I was advocating for albinism awareness. And so they reached out to me, and here I am, a 15-year-old kid, getting a letter from the United Nations saying that they want a video from me to add to their campaign, to their albinism awareness campaign, and to fight discrimination. And that was a bond that was built, and we just kind of worked closely ever since. Fast forward to about last year, and they reached out again to celebrate the 70 years of the Declaration of Human Rights. And they said, hey, we want you to speak at the Palais de Nation, room 20, where all of the head govs come to meet, and they make human rights decisions. So I was the first hip hop artist to perform there, which was mind blowing, to say the least.
Yeah.
To say the least. And we got to meet the head commissioner of the Human Rights Division of the United Nations. So that was extremely exciting to be able to fight discrimination and to also advocate for anti-bullying and albinism awareness at the same time. It's like all causes meeting at the same place, not to mention there were other like-minded individuals in the room with me. It was a beautiful thing. It was beautiful.
I'll bet. And so for you, what is like the main message you give in your anti-bullying speech that's different from these other ones that are out there?
Overcoming adversity. And the pains that are bothering you today will soon fade. Even if a limb is amputated, it will soon heal. You are better than the sum of your parts.
Okay, so if schools are interested in booking you as a speaker on this subject, where can they find you?
Again, that is www.teamrobinx.com. You can also reach us at a Gmail account, teamrobinx@gmail.com.
And that's ROBENX.
Yes, sir.
Okay, just making sure that people know. So if you have an organization that's interested in speaking about anti-bullying or advocacy, contact, it's teamrobinx at gmail.com, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you so much for having me.
Visit the all-new North Central website, www.northcentralepa.com. Find out more about your cooperative, pay your bill 24 hours, and even get money-saving tips. That's northcentralepa.com.